Hey! Today, camera talk. We're gonna nerd out. It's kind of more of a work day for me, and since I want this channel for one to be documenting what happens, interesting stories, travels, adventures, free running, and all those entertaining and inspiring stories to many, I also want it to be very practical. I don't just want it to be inspiring, I want also to give very hands-on technical advice or things that I do that I've learned that then you guys can implement into your life or you can learn from. So that means there will be both sides to this channel. Very, very practical, very, very impractical, just cool shit that happens. Today is all about the camera gear I use. First things first, you have to note I am sponsored by Gopro. I'm one of their sponsored athletes. I get their gear for free, which definitely means I'm slightly biased. I also am very picky with who I work with though, and do only want to work with the best at what they do. So I do think I would be using most of their product nonetheless. I also live out of a suitcase. All my belongings are minimal. I can only use the very essential things, and everything in my bag has to serve a clear purpose. So I don't really have the luxury of working with a brand or using their products if it doesn't make sense in my life. So I think it's still a very accurate representation of what works and what not, but I need to say that. My camera gear is designed to fit in a very small space. It doesn't necessarily do everything, but it does do as much as possible while being as small and versatile as possible. And that is what this camera gear is designed for. It's designed for very small, fits into my backpack, I can carry it everywhere, and I can use it for as many situations as possible. By the way, I think it's about to start to rain, but I'll try to pull this off before I get really, really wet. I use this camera gear for travel footage, interview footage, talking to people, everything that happens in day-to-day life, but also action production of free running and action sports stuff things. Everything fits into this backpack. I've been using this Gopro Backpack. It's been really great. I wish it was a tiny bit bigger, but it fits usually what I need for a day of shooting, out and about, and maybe a sweatshirt or something in case it gets cold, and a few other things. First things first, the cameras I use. Where's the Hero 5? For the past years, I've been traveling and playing around with all different kind of gadgets and cameras and tools and mounts, constantly thinking about what do I really need, what do I use. If I have something in my bag for too long without using it, or I don't use it enough, I throw it out. So this is really the pure essence, what it boils down to, of what I actually need and use the most. These are the 20% of camera gear I need to get 80% of shots. Up until recently, I was shooting with two Hero 4 Silver. I chose the Hero 4 Silver over the Hero 4 Black for the simple reason that it has a screen, which was super important to me. I would not want to live without the screen on the back of the camera. I love the GoPros because they're super versatile, they're super tiny, they give you great quality. The Hero 5 Black came out, so this is my current setup. I assume at some point this guy will also be replaced with the Hero 5 Black. What I like about the Hero 5 Black is, for one, that it's waterproof without the case. I don't use the underwater case too often because my sport happens in the city. So it was always a tough decision. Do I bring the case today or do I not? And that is now obsolete. It's always waterproof. Also great that I get good audio even though I just pulled it out of the water. What's also great about this camera now are, for me, mainly software changes. I love that it has a built-in image stabilization, which I've been using a lot shooting out of the car window when there's just a little bit of shake going on. There's also a linear mode which takes out the iconic GoPro fisheye look and gives it more straight lines in your image, and I've been liking that for shots of like architecture, B-roll shots, shots of faces. That's what I use the linear mode. I'm gonna post all the settings I use on my GoPro and what they are on into the description. Also, whatever products I mention in this video, I will also find the links for you guys and put them in the description for you too. When it comes to audio, GoPro audio kind of sucks. So I use a Sennheiser MK400, which I'm recording this on right now. Let me try this. This is what it looks like. Wait, this is what it looks like and sounds like. The problem is that the GoPro doesn't really allow you to mount a microphone. And none of the official GoPro cases have a proper microphone mount. So, I fixed that by getting this metal case mount made in China. The GoPro goes inside. Come on. You screw it tight. There's some amends I had to make to the case. There's a little metal clip here that would give me a little metal sound whenever I would move it, so I taped it all up. There was also a little lens ring around the lens that I had to unscrew because it would give me a vignette. I then take lens protection and put it over the lens. It doesn't change the image of the camera at all, but it just protects it from scratches. Now, the special thing about this metal case is that it has a hot shoe mount, which is the mount that's at the bottom of the microphone. And now I can mount the microphone on top of the camera, and I can get great audio whenever I shoot. Which brings me straight to this tripod. This is one of the most useful pieces of my kit. Folds out with 3 legs to a tripod, which is obviously great already. You can also hold it like this and shoot, which comes in very handy. Hold it close to the floor. And what's super cool is that you can bend it in all sorts of different ways. It doesn't break that easy. Wrap it around a bar and get like different creative angles with it. Super, super useful. For me also, this would make little weird sounds sometimes because of this plate. So I wedged a little piece of plastic in between. Yeah. So this is my main setup I use for all the general shots that I carry around with me when we're traveling, when we're going somewhere. I have the microphone, I get good audio, people talking. It's awesome. With that comes batteries. I have about 10 to 15 GoPro batteries and about 4 memory cards with me at all times. I always need spares because we shoot almost every day. Sometimes you don't get to charge them, or you need more than you think. So I always have a ton of batteries. Usually I don't go through more than 5 or 6 a day, but it's always good to have more. I could not live without this little setup. GoPro wall plug, which is great because it has 2 USBs in it. They come with little extra attachments, so they will fit with every plug in any country. And with this I can charge 4 batteries at once. I've lost one of these before and it was a pain in the ass to only be able to charge 2 batteries at a time. So if you shoot every day like I do, you want 2 of these. Waterproof case, probably don't need that anymore very soon, because the GoPro Hero 5 is already waterproof. I shoot a lot of POV shots, first person shots, where the camera basically sits in my face. There's different ways of doing it. Usually when I'm out shooting and I don't have much time, what I simply do is bite on the camera. I guess I have kind of a big mouth because this is super easy for me. For other people it's very difficult or impossible. The other option you can do is you can get this case called the frame. You can put the camera inside. I don't have it here right now because I lost it, but I recommend a GoPro quick clip that comes with the head strap. And with this quick clip you have a little clip that you can bite down onto while recording. You can also hold it upside down if you don't want the camera to be in your face. I kind of prefer it being right here because I have a better feeling for what the camera is seeing while I'm recording. I made a whole video on it and I'll put the link in the description too. In my bag is this box, which I use to carry all the different mounts and little parts. It opens up. Inside I have my GoPro self-defense stick, which I obviously use for selfie shots, and it's kind of nice because you can bend it in different ways. Sometimes if we're shooting in a sandy place or with soft ground, you can also stick it into the floor and it works as a tripod, so super useful. Also super small and easy to pack, so that's cool. The next tool is a gadget that I could not live without, which is a 3-axis gimbal. GoPro has just started making their own. I didn't get to try that one yet. I've played with Feiyutech gimbals and this LAN Pate gimbal. I have no personal preference. They've all been alright. They've done the job. None of them has been outstanding. They seem to break quite easy. But they've been, when they work, they are fucking amazing. What does this gadget do? It is a 3-axis stabilizer, which basically means it's meant to take all kind of shaking and wobbling out of your shot. So you strap the camera inside, and then you hit the on switch, and it becomes your own personal robot that stabilizes the camera. This is incredibly useful just even for very basic shots, showing an environment, doing different pans and tilts and camera moves. It's kind of a multi-tool to make all your shots look better. I think if I could find a way to attach the microphone onto it while shooting, I would probably use it more. I can attach it at the bottom or something. When it comes to shooting action sports, especially free running, this tool is incredible. It enables to run behind somebody, follow them, do all sorts of kind of creative camera moves, and really show free running as one shot and take, but also get the right angles for all the different segments of a run. So I love this tool. Huh. That's everything. That is my camera gear. It's always changing. It will change again. I kind of wanted to make this video right now because I think I've finally gotten to a place where I'm happy with where it's at and it's doing everything I want it to do. So I think this is a great setup for if you shoot vlogs, if you shoot free running videos, if you shoot travel content. These are all the tools you need to make something epic, I think. There's nothing in this bag that I feel like I could live without. If you want to see what you can do with that kind of setup, look through the 70 other videos I've posted on this channel so far. Those have all been shot pretty much with this camera gear. Alright, I very much enjoy optimizing my life, optimizing and playing and experimenting with the tools, apps, programs, things, and everything I use day to day, and I always try to improve and find the best way of doing something. Maybe it's because I'm German. I don't know. So I think these videos are interesting for me to make whenever I get to a point where I feel like I found a great way of doing something or dealing with a problem. So let me know what you think about this kind of video, if you'd like to see more or less, what you'd like to see them about. And yeah, see you next time.